It's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Well, I think we all know what kind of deck list this is gonna be. And quite honestly, I hope you guys are as excited as I am to make this deck list, and I'm gonna walk you guys through it after I am done building it. I'm actually doing the intro first this time. Kinda weird, but figured I'd switch things up. So let me go build it real fast, and I'll come back right afterwards. Here we go. So I just finished it, and it took a while. There are a lot of routes you can go with Harpy Ladies, and I decided to go with, obviously, the best route. What other route should you go with? So we're going to start off with it right now, but before I do, I know it's annoying to hear. I hear it from YouTubers I watch all the time. But please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, or if you find yourself watching multiple videos on my channel, because it really helps out the channel. So for the first cards, we have the Harpy Queen. Harpy Queen, its name becomes Harpy Lady, and you could discard it to the graveyard, add one Harpy's Hunting Ground from your deck to your hand. It's good for searching out Harpy's Hunting Ground, and it makes it where we only have to play two, because we have so many ways that we can get to it, and yeah, people will destroy your Harpy's Hunting Ground, but you can destroy their back row first. We have 3 Harpy Chandler. You can discard 1 Harpy card, special summon 1 Harpy monster from your deck in defense position, except Harpy Chandler. You can only use the effect once per turn. While you control a dragon monster, this card's level becomes 7. This card's name becomes Harpy Lady while on the field or in the graveyard. So all of these Harpy monsters have this effect where they're called the Harpy Lady while on the field or in the graveyard, which is really useful for your synchro summoning for Cyber slash Harpy Lady. But, I mean, it's also good for Elegant Egotist, Hysteric Sign, Alluring Mirror Split, all of your spell cards. We also have 2 Harpy Dancer. You can target 1 wind monster you control, return it to the hand, then you can normal summon 1 wind monster. You can only use this effect of Harpy Dancer once per turn. This card's name becomes Harpy Lady while on the field or in the graveyard. Like I said, it's the same with all of them. Harpy Harpist. This card's name becomes Harpy Lady while in the field of the graveyard, and you could use each one of its effects once per turn. The first one is if it's normal summoned, you bounce 1 wind beast type monster. You bounce 1 winged beast type monster you control other than that card, and 1 face up monster your opponent controls, and you bounce them to the hand. The second one is during the end phase, if the card's in the graveyard because it was sent there, specifically this turn, you could add 1 level 4 winged beast type monster with 1500 attack or less from your deck to your hand. This is why it's only at 1. It's at 1 because the only effect that you're really going to be using is bouncing something back. So if it's something that can't be destroyed or sent to the graveyard, at least you can bounce it back to the hand. Harpy's Feather Duster, it's a 1-of because it's limited, and it's just a really good back row removal. Not even sure if Harpy Ladies even need any more back row removal, but it's definitely a good card just for clearing it out while keeping your advantage. Harpy Perfumer. We're playing 3 of these. This card's pretty nuts. This card's name becomes Harpy Lady while on the field to the graveyard, like all the other cards. And if this card is normal or special summoned, you could add 1 spell or trap card from your deck to your hand that specifically lists the card Harpy Lady Sisters in its text. So, Elegant Egotist, Hysteric Sign. So, Elegant Egotist and things like Alluring Mirror Split, and I believe even Harpy's Hunting Ground. You could search all of them because they have the name Harpy Lady Sisters. You don't need it like summoned or anything like that, just as long as it has the name. So, if you control a level 5 or higher Harpy monster when you activate this effect, you can add a second such card with a different name. You can only use this effect once per turn. So, if you have Harpy Lady Sisters out on the field, we're only playing 1. You use this effect, you get to search, let's say, Elegant Egotist and a Harpy's Hunting Ground, and then you could use Harpy's Hunting Ground, activate it, activate Elegant Egotist, and you can get a second Harpy Lady onto the field. 3 Elegant Egotists. It works kind of like it did in the anime, except less broken. You only get to special summon 1 Harpy Lady or Harpy Lady Sisters from your hand or deck. And that's if you already control Harpy Lady on the field. So basically, you could just summon 1, use Elegant Egotist, summon the Harpy Lady Sisters, activate Harpy Dancer, push back your Chandler or your Queen, summon Perfumer, and then Perfumer will get you another Elegant Egotist and a Hunting Ground. You can activate your Elegant Egotist, and you can bring out a second Harpy Lady. Hysteric Sign. When this card's activated, add an Elegant Egotist from your deck to the graveyard, from your deck or graveyard to the hand. During the end phase, when this card is activated, add one Elegant Egotist from your deck or graveyard to your hand. During the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there from the hand or field this turn, add up to 3 Harpy cards with different names from each other from your deck to your hand. You can only use one Hysteric Sign per turn and one effect that turn. So this card is really good for searching your Harpy cards, and it's really good for searching your Elegant Egotists. It's really just good for searching in general, and there's not really any reason not to play it. It's not like there's many better cards to play in Harpies. Then we have 2 Alluring Mirror Split. When a Harpy Lady or Harpy Lady Sisters card is destroyed by battle, you can special summon one Harpy monster from your deck with a different original name than the destroyed monster. If this card you control is destroyed by a Harpy card's effect, you can target one Harpy monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So if you have this out on the field, you get to special summon a Harpy monster from your deck if a Harpy card is destroyed. And if you target this card and destroy it with one of your own Harpy's effects, then you can summon one from your graveyard. 2 Harpy's Hunting Grounds. This is the field spell card. All winged beast monsters gain 200 attack and defense. If any Harpy Lady or Harpy Lady Sisters is normal or special summoned, the player who conducted that summon targets one spell or trap card on the field. That player destroys that target. And since you're probably going to be summoning 3, 4, 5 Harpy Ladies per turn, you're popping 3, 4, 5 back row. So if you're playing something like Eldritch and it's a pure version, you're going to win. Harpy's Featherstorm. This is the closest thing to a hand trap that is pure to this deck. If you control a winged beast monster until the end of the turn, negate any monster effects your opponent activates. If you control a Harpy monster, you can activate this card from your hand. If this card is in its owner's spell and trap card zone and is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can add one Harpy's Feather Duster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Great card. It's like a hand trap if you control a Harpy monster. You're just negating any monster effects your opponent activates. That's busted. Also, if this card is destroyed, you're adding a Harpy's Feather Duster, which can wipe out your opponent's entire back row. So that's 2 different reasons why you should be playing this card. Negating all monster effects, and searching a instant removal of all spell and trap cards. Pretty nuts. You could activate this card by discarding one card, special summon as many copies of Harpy Lady as possible from your graveyard. When this card at face up leaves the field, destroy those monsters. If you haven't forgotten, all of these cards are called Harpy Lady when in the graveyard. If you haven't forgotten, all of these cards are Harpy Ladies if you haven't forgotten, all these cards are Harpy Ladies when in the graveyard. So you discard a card, and if you don't have any monsters and your opponent's about to like OTK you just special summon 5 defense position monsters on your field. Pretty nuts. Harpy Lady 2, Harpy Lady 3, and Harpy Lady Sisters. Harpy Lady Sisters is mandatory for the deck. Harpy Lady 3, I think, is the better version. You could play Harpy Lady 2 or you could play Harpy Lady 3. It doesn't really matter. I guess it really depends on what deck is prevalent. You could play 2 Harpy Lady 2s, 2 Harpy Lady 3s, or one of both. I just decided to play one of both because there's not a whole lot of times that you're going to need to use the Harpy Lady 3's effect twice. If you don't know, the Harpy Lady 3 effect stops your opponent from battling for the next 2 turns after it battles this card, and Harpy Lady 2 negates the effects of flip monsters that this card destroys during battle. But I don't know, Harpy Lady 2, unless you're battling like Shadalls, it's not the best. But then we have 2 Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. Neither player can special summon monsters except wind monsters. So what is absolutely insane is saving your normal summon until the end of like your second turn and just smacking this card down. Then destroying all your opponent's back row and watch as they cry. Especially if you do something like this. You slap this down. You use Harpy's Feather Duster. And then on their turn you use Harpy's Feather Storm. Not only do you stop all monster effects, they have no back row, and they can't special summon monsters. It's not really fair. 3 Pot of Disparity. There's a big debate on whether or not this card is good. I think this card is really good. It's like Pot of Extravagance. But one less card. However, you're digging a lot of cards deeper. So like people are always like, if only I got that one more card, or if only I drew one card deeper. This card lets you draw that card. So then we're playing the 1 Mist Valley Apex Avian and the 1 Mist Valley Thunderbird. If you don't know, that's an infinite negate combo. Once per chain, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, target 1 Mist Valley card you control, return it to the hand, and if you do, negate the activation and destroy it. This card is always going to be the target, and when this card is returned to the hand, you can special summon it, and it just can't attack. But you're not going to be attacking on your opponent's turn anyway. So if you get this card out, and if you get this card out, every time your opponent would activate an effect, this card would send this card to the hand, negate the activation, and destroy the card that your opponent's using, and then this card would special summon itself back out to the field, and you would just be able to use it over and over and over again. Because there is no once per turn thing anywhere on either of these cards, and that's why it's so broken. Then we're also playing a very small Tri-Brigade engine. This is mainly for some extra firepower, because this deck doesn't really have a whole lot of OTK potential, or even just like burn. It's not really a thing with Harpy Ladies, so you need to be able to get some of your bigger monsters and some of your just bigger cards in general out. And the Tri-Brigade cards are really good for doing it. If you don't know what these do, basically you discard it or you summon it, and then you can banish Beast Warrior or Winged Beast monsters, and when you banish them, you can summon your Link monsters equal to the number of cards you banished. So if I banished like 2 Queens and a Channeler, then I would be able to bring out a Link 3 Tri-Brigade Rugal the Silver Sheller. And it's just pretty good because it's 3 different ways that you can get some bigger monsters on the field. Then we have Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosac. You guys don't really need any explanation for why this is here. It lets you special summon 2 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens that are level 3. This card cannot be destroyed, but the best part about it is that it's wind. It doesn't really have all that much synergy, but as you can see, there's only 14 cards in here, and I don't know, I left some of it up to your own personal preferences. However, in these next couple cards, I really do think are mandatory in this deck. Dracosac's debatable, but it's a really good card, so like, yeah, there we go. Lightning Chidori, 2 of them, 2 level 4 wind monsters. That's not difficult in this deck. You'd attach an Exi material and target 1 face-up card your opponent controls. Return it to the top of the deck. Really good. Yeah, no reason not to play this. It's not like you have any other things to go into besides Utopia. Harpy Conductor. This is another Harpy monster, probably one of the better ones. When this card's name becomes Harpy Lady while in the field to the graveyard, like all the other ones. You can use each effect once per turn. If a Harpy monster you control would be destroyed by battle, you can destroy 1 spell or trap card you control instead. If another Harpy Lady monster you control returns to your hand, except during the damage step, you can special summon 1 monster your opponent controls. You can target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. If you have this card out, if another face-up Harpy Lady monster you control is returned to your hand, except during the damage step, you can target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. If you have this card out and you use your Harpy Harpist, you use the first effect, which is bouncing this card and bouncing the opponent's card. Then what you get to do is you get to activate Conductor, and you're bouncing 2 of your opponent's cards for bouncing 1 card. Then we have 2 Cyber / Harpy Ladies. This is probably the strongest Harpy Lady, and it has a pretty good effect. 1 tutor, 1 non-tutor monster. It is a level 8. For this card, Synchro Summon, you can treat 1 Harpy monster you control as a tuner. That's really good. Seems how everything in here is not tuners. So pretty much, if you get any 2 Harpy Ladies out, you can go into Cyber / Harpy Lady. This card's name becomes Harpy Lady while on the field or in the graveyard. When a Spell Trap card or effect is activated, quick effect target one monster your opponent controls or one Harpy, return it to the hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. So the same thing works with this and this. If you have this on the field and you have this on the field, you use the quick effect, target a monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand, and then you use this card, target another card your opponent controls, and return it to the hand. Or actually, never mind. This only works if you're returning a monster that you control. To Utopias, it's a good card. Basically, you exi into Utopia with 2 level 4 monsters, and then you get to negate a attack. So that's fun. Then you can go into Utopia the Lightning, which is really good for your attack power. It's the main source of damage dealing in this deck. So after you run your opponent super low on resources, they have no spells left in their deck. You have your Harpy's Hunting Ground just picking them apart. You have your infinite negates. You just go into Utopia and then Utopia the Lightning. Get it to 5,000 damage, and it's basically GG. And actually, something I forgot. We're playing one double or nothing. So this is a 41 card deck because double or nothing is too good when you're playing Utopia the Lightning. Because what you do is you use the Utopia and then you attack, detach your material, negate the attack, use double or nothing, boost it up to 5,000, or you could just use the original, which was just bring this up to 5,000. It's just an extra way that you could deal an insane amount of damage to your opponent. Samorg, Bird of Sovereignty. This card is mainly used for your Infinite Negate combo. This card gets your Apex Avian out, and it's basically impossible to pull out this combo without using Samorg because you'd have to hard draw both of these cards. Tri-Brigade, Shurog, the Ominous Omen. Tri-Brigade, Barren Blossom. And Tri-Brigade, Silver Sheller. Most of these cards are mainly just for the bodies, but they also have effects that correlate to the wind monsters. And if you have a different card in mind, go ahead. You don't need to use the Tri-Brigade engine. It's just a personal preference. But some of their effects are pretty good for this deck. You can banish one card on the field. If this card is summoned, you can banish one card on the field. If it's sent to the graveyard, add one Wing Beast monster from your deck to the hand, whose level is less or equal than the number of banished beasts. So, pretty good. You get a card back if this card's destroyed, and you also get to banish a monster if this is summoned. Not to mention, it's a 3,000 beater. Barren Blossom. This card can special summon one level 4 or lower beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster from your hand. Also, you cannot use monsters as link material for the rest of the turn, except winged beast monsters and beast warriors. If this card is sent to the graveyard, draw one card, and then place one card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. You can only use each effect once per turn. Then for our last link card is Tri-Brigade Rugal the Silver Sheller. During your opponent's main phase quick effect, you can special summon one level 4 or lower beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster from your hand or graveyard but negate its effects. Also return it to the hand during the end phase. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can make all monsters your opponent controls currently lose 300 attack for each monster type you control until the end of the turn. You can only use each effect once per turn. So you get to special summon one out and then send it back. So if you have a Harpy Conductor, and this uses its effect, it sends back another Harpy. Harpy Conductor sends back another card your opponent controls. So pretty good synergy there. And I'm sure you guys noticed by now that I have the Utopic Zexal in the side. This is an option if you don't like the Chidoris, or if you don't want to play Tri-Brigade or Utopia Engine or anything like that. The Utopic Zexal isn't too bad of an alternative. People really aren't expecting it anymore, and it's very deadly. It's bad enough to have an infinite negate. It's bad enough to have an infinite negate combo, but if you're using the Apex Avians and the Utopic Zexal combo, your opponent's gonna start crying. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it, And like I said earlier, sorry for asking, I know it gets annoying, but please like and subscribe if you like the video or if you find yourself watching multiple, and I hope you have a good day, and I will see you next time. Also, I hope you have a good day, and I will see you next time.